Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and you're about to watch the Bujo setup from hell. But first, I want to recap real quick on how March went. You can see the pages flipped a little bit before I start on April, which theme I thought was pretty clever and cute is We Bear Bears, the TV show. But yeah, so have you ever had like a financial month where you just felt like it was bad, even though good things happened, like you still felt like it was bad and you couldn't wait till the next month happened so you can just reset, restart, refresh? That's pretty much how I felt about March. Mostly because I felt like my spending was kind of out of control. And I don't know why. I don't like spending money. I'm not like incredibly cheap like that viral video of that woman who like resaves condiments after they use it and put it back in the jar because gross. But I felt like I just spent a significant amount of money last month for some reason, and I don't know. I feel icky inside, even though I didn't spend outside my budget. Like my budget's on point, but for some reason I just feel crappy about how last month went because of my spending. But some things that I did achieve last month, which was pretty awesome, was I knocked out 3 of my, hold on, I gotta count, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, of my 8 sinking fund goals this month. So I don't know why I feel bad about how March went, because I knocked out my dog's yearly shot sinking goal, my car plate sinking goal, and my daughter's spring like clothing budget sinking fund. So I don't know why I feel bad about March, because I knocked out some pretty good, goals in mind, but I do. I don't know. And I was just really excited to just get April started and refresh and, just start back at 0 and not feel so icky. But yeah, this Bujo setup. So I had this idea of you doing We Bear Bears as a theme, and so I'm not an artist. I'm really not. I'm not really good at it. I'm not a watercolor, like I'm not even good at drawing a straight line, if I'm going to be honest with you, but I can do a little bit. So it took me like a week to actually draw out all the layouts on here and in pencil so I can do this setup. And there are some errors and things that I'm not pleased with, but I'm just gonna suck it up, buttercup, and still use it, because this is the longest time I think it's ever taken me to actually draw out and fill in like a setup for a bullet journal type, an artistic bullet journal type setup, because this is obviously not a traditional bullet journal setup. And I commend all those who put in with all their great artistic ability and just put in the work and the hours of time it takes to make them look beautiful and gorgeous. But I decided after this, I'm not about that life. Because one of the things I realized that this stology is not made up for is a lot of coloring. And I'm not bothered by shadowing or ghosting or whatever you call it, but I am a little bit perturbed by bleed through, especially on paper as thin as what's in the stology. So I had, throughout this whole setup, a little bit of bleed through here and there, and you can see right here on my monthly the bleed through from me trying to attempt at using my Tombos and my liners as watercolor to try and get Panda Bear's coloring right, because he's not necessarily the traditional black and white of a panda. He's more of a dark gray, and I don't have a dark gray Tombow, so I had to try and come up with some alternative to try and get those colors in. And you can see where I tried to do his eyes, you can definitely see it through to the other side, so that bugs me a little bit. But on the bottom there, on the monthly page here, I decided to try and do them like walking across the street with different purses and bags, which I thought was really cute. But Yeah, I'm not about this artistic Bujo life. I can't. While this month I'm excited about resetting myself financially, next month I'm excited to get back to my simplistic layouts because this took way too much time out of my life. It's cute though. Still cute. But not about this artistic Bujo life. Okay, so I just remember one of the reasons why my March makes me so mad. Okay, so while my budget was on point, I did have some unbudgeted expenses that I had to take out of my homeschooling singing fund because they're unbudgeted and they just popped up. And I ended up spending $30 at the library for two water damaged books that my daughter checked out that she somehow, some way got wet. So I had to pay $15 for each book, which really makes me mad because on Amazon the books are like $8.99. So I'm like, so I just paid $30 when I could have just bought both for like a little over half of that, just outright. So those were unbudgeted expenses, which made me mad. Another unbudgeted expense was, so you know how last month I finally said I bought the laser ink for my laser printer, which is something I use heavily for homeschool and also to print out my inserts. Well, I finally bought the ink and I set it up and I was getting ready to print and the freaking USB cord on it did not work. So I had to buy a new one of those. And then in order to get the whole thing to work, I had to buy a whole new extension cord for it because I have, in the meantime, I had bought an HP printer and where the heck the plug is in the office, like I needed another extension cord. So those were unbudgeted expenses as well. But I wasn't really mad about that because that's something I actually need. I'm more mad about spending $30 at the library for two slightly water damaged books. The only upside of that is that we actually got to keep the books, but she's already read them. And so now they're just sitting here collecting dust, and I'm just going to probably more than likely end up giving them away because this month I'm KonMariing my books, the books in the house, and I'm heated about that, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, back to my Bujo setup from hell. So on my weekly expenses page, I decided to do the faces of all the characters. So there's Grizzly, Panda, Ice Bear, and at the bottom I drew Chloe. And I think eventually I color in Grizzly, like I color in parts of their faces. Panda and Ice Bear are easy because they're mostly white. Grizzly's brown, but Chloe I end up leaving just plain because I did not have a flesh colored anything to use. I mean, I have my Prismacolors, but I know for a fact that those would definitely bleed through because they're not water-based, they're alcohol-based. But, so she just stayed plain. But again, with that watercolor and that stupid little watercolor brush that I got from Michael's, I ended up with bleed-through on Panda's eyes that you can see in the monthly. But again, I'm sucking it up buttercup because I just spent so much time on this and there's no point in me sitting here being angry about it. I'm just gonna Elsa that shit and let it go, accept the flaws, and just keep moving because life's too short to be stressing about how pretty your layouts look, right? So to compensate for lack of space and not being able to put any We Bare Bear characters anywhere, I ended up choosing to use these wooden like sign doodles. And yeah, on this one you can tell, I don't know why it took me so long to decide to color it first before I put in the words, but for some reason I didn't do it then, and you can kind of tell it looks streaky and weird when I, use the liner over the tombos every so often. But yeah, that lesson took me way too many pages to come across and do. Like this, so on the other side of that page, you will also see like bleed through, like in heavy shadowing because the papers are so thin. But yeah, this page here, my sinking fund page, I thought it'd be really cute to do when they were like little cubs and they were in a box and it was like free bears. I thought it would be really cute to put that on my sinking fund page, and this little drawing ended up having me stop for like 10 minutes and just laughing my ass off. Because when I drew Grizzly originally, I thought he looked like his eyes were uneven and he looked a little gimpy. So, so I kept trying to fix it, and he still looked a little gimpy. And I kept trying to fix it some more, and he still looked weird. And I'm just like, and then I got to the end when I colored him in, and he looks so horrible. And like, look at him. Just look at him right now. Like, what is happening? If you don't know which one's Grizzly, he's in the middle. And I'm just like, what? Okay, I'm going to make it look better. I'm going to try and make him look better. And then I was trying to figure out how I was going to color this cardboard box in, because I only have 2 color browns. So I'm like, well, I'm going to try and, mix them together and create my own little color with these browns that I have. I mean, and it made, a different color brown. But you see that? You saw how bad it looks on the other side. And then I drew him in, and then I colored Grizzly in, and then I literally stopped for like 5 minutes. Look at him. Look at him. And he just looks so much worse. And I'm just like, you know what? Just forget it. Just keep going, because he's there now, and that's what Grizzly looks like at the moment. It'll be okay. Like, I literally stopped for like 10 minutes and just laughed. Like, I was laughing so hard, my dog ran in from the kitchen to see what was I laughing at. It was so he looks so bad. So yeah, I drew Grizzly looking a bit high on some hallucinogens. Maybe he got into some bad mushrooms in the woods. I don't know. The next couple pages are easy. They're just my bill tracker sheet, my paycheck calculation sheets, and my notes page, which I implemented last month, which actually helped me quite a bit in coming up with ideas on how to actually keep the funds that, I'm working for. Because it helped me figure out that I'm just going to kill Netflix and get Hulu and save money that way, because Netflix keeps raising their prices. And to be honest, concerning us, their stuff isn't even that great. And we've pretty much watched all the documentaries, and I'm over it. And again, still haven't learned that lesson about coloring the page first before putting in the words, which ended up having severe shadowing on the back of that page. But you know what? We're just going to let it go. We're going to else it and let it go and just keep going and just keep moving on, because who cares, to be honest? It's just art-ish, mostly. But yeah, especially considering I'm not doing anything as heavy as this again. And but the lesson I learned, if I did do something this heavy, I would have to most definitely double up pages to compensate for all the bleed through and shadowing that adding water coloring techniques, allow, and all the heavy coloring from the mild liners to avoid the bleed through. But the next page here, this is my notes page, and this is just the back of the We Bare Bears, and eventually I'm going to write notes on it, and for some reason I didn't center it, and I looked at it. My daughter pointed it out to me, and I'm just like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm at the end of my rope at this point with this monthly setup. Like, nope, I don't. I'm good, love and joy. Because if I sat there and stressed about how my spreads look and how other people perceive how my spreads look, I would never get anything done. Like, I don't do it for the likes. I do it because I like it. And at some point, sometimes, mostly, it's relaxing. This one stressed me the hell out. So we're never doing this again, people. And if I do, you can yell at me. But yeah, so this is my monthly setup for this month in my Stology 365 that I use as a budget planner. I think it's cute. Super crazy shadowing and bleed through and all. Hallucinogenic grizzly bear. Like, at least it makes me laugh. That's always good. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. If you already have, thank you so much for subscribing. Until next time, bye.